So before I start with the Supercard video, I'd just like to announce that I've made a second channel dedicated to gaming. You can expect a ton of streams on there, like really frequently. I actually might stream over there tonight. And it's going to be all sorts of brand new games that I'm interested in, playing those, mostly competitive games, online gameplay. So if you guys want to check that out, if that sounds interesting to you, and you want to subscribe, the link will be in the description box. With that said, let's start the video. What's up my peeps, it is now time for a brand new Supercard episode, and a bunch of new stuff has popped. Well, it's not that new anymore, but a bunch of stuff popped up after the last video that I posted up. So in the last video, I gave my prediction as to what the fire news would be for Supercard. They said we'd have some fire news. At the time, in the beginning of the video, I didn't know what it was, they didn't announce anything. And then towards the end of the video, they announced that we'd be getting achievement rewards for Supercard. And while that was cool, it's cool that you're gonna get, some free credits for things you wouldn't have gotten anything for in the past in Supercard, and also getting some free draft picks for proing cards and such. It wasn't, to me, it was a bit disappointing. I didn't consider that fire news, but they did say that that was just one of the new features. So I was like, maybe that isn't the fire news. Maybe the fire news is still to come. So I think the next day, or maybe the day even after that, actually I think it's the next day, Supercard goes ahead and switches up their profile picture on Twitter to a Hall of Fame card back. And also on top of that, they changed the background of their Twitter to not a new logo, the same logo but with a different background. It's not the old Supercard Season 3 background. So then the speculation began, man. People started talking, people started saying, oh, it's a brand new tier. For instance, if you guys recall, when I was talking about new tiers, oftentimes when I talk about it, I'd mention Hall of Fame tier, because it just made sense. We've got the Legendary tier, we've got the Survivor tier for Survivor Series, we've got the SummerSlam tier, we've got a bunch of tiers that are all wrestling related terms, and especially with the Legendary tier in there, it just made sense for a Hall of Fame tier to come in the future. So when we get shown a Hall of Fame card back, I can see why people went ahead and assumed that it was going to be a new tier. Some people jumped the gun a bit too quick and were like, new tier confirmed or whatever. But nothing was confirmed, we just saw a card back. And when I saw that, I was like, it might be a new tier that would be, some fire news. But also at the same time, it is a card back, guys. If you look at all the other tiers, Ultimate tier, WrestleMania tier, whatever tier it is, and you're playing a match, the cards, the tiers themselves don't have card backs separating them from each other unless you're doing a pack opening. For instance, when you're opening up a platinum pack, the cards actually do have, I guess, a card back. It's basically just the tier's logo on there, and that's pretty much it. But when you're playing a match in the game in any mode, by default there are no card backs. It's just a plain background with the WWE logo on there. Except, of course, if you play the Royal Rumble mode and you get a card back through that. But basically, tiers don't have card backs. So when I first saw it, I was like, yo, this might be a new tier, but then upon thinking about it, it's just a card back. And like I said, the other tiers don't have card backs, so then I was like, oh, my expectations then went down drastically, and I was thinking it might just be a Royal Rumble card back. And it didn't end up being a Royal Rumble card back. Instead, they went ahead and announced that it's actually new throwback cards, Hall of Fame themed throwback cards. And that's when people really got disappointed because, of course, it's under a paywall. You've got to pay for the throwback cards. It's not, something you can acquire through playing the game or whatever. And then on top of that, with the background change, a lot of people started speculating on that too, that maybe the new season was coming out. That Supercard Season 4 was coming because you get the background change, the logo change whenever a new tier drops, whenever a new season drops. And of course that wasn't the case here, so it looks like that was more so for the fusion cards, which they also didn't announce. So they announced the throwback cards to pretty bad reaction because, of course, it is behind a paywall. You've got to pay for that. And then they also announced the fusion cards. And I've got to say, even though, the announcements to me were a bit disappointing, the cards look really good, which also adds to people being frustrated because you've got these cool looking cards, but you've got to pay to get them, and on top of that, they're Hall of Fame themed cards, and when it comes to Hall of Fame and Supercard, that's something that people thought would be a tier. So they think, you know, Hall of Fame cards would be attainable through just playing the game and reaching that tier. But yeah, among the Hall of Fame cards announced, we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin, Beth Phoenix, Macho Man Randy Savage, HBK, and the best looking Eddie Guerrero card in the game, the best picture. That's a really cool looking card. But not all the cool looking cards are behind a paywall. For instance, they showed off a fusion. WrestleMania 33 fusions, of course, are coming today. At the time I'm recording this, there is maintenance right now, but once it comes back, I think the update should be there. But they showed Fusion AJ Styles, and that's a cool looking card as well. Looking forward to getting this card, and I've seen some people say, oh, this too, you know, you've got to pay for this because it takes a long time to get the cards unless you pay for it. You can still get the cards. Yes, I do agree that the Fusion Chamber does take a really, really long time if you're not paying to speed it up. But of course, you can still get it for free. So, yeah. As far as my thoughts on the announcement, well, first off, obviously I was wrong with my Great Balls of Fire prediction, way off on that. There's no new tier, but I did say, though, that I could see fusions being added with a new tier. We just didn't get the first part of my prediction, but we got the fusions. And speaking of these new cards, they also announced that the next event card is going to be a Ring Domination Seth Rollins card that's themed like the WWE 2K18 cover. So it does have a different background than the other WrestleMania 33 event cards, but honestly, looking at it, and a teammate of mine, Rain, also mentioned this, it looks like a Money in the Bank card. Are we the only ones thinking that? Let me know in the comment section if you agree that this looks like a Money in the Bank card. Who knows, it might have been originally a Money in the Bank card, but maybe they changed their minds and they were like, let's make this, you know, let's boost up the stats a bit and make this a Ring Domination card. I wonder what the Money in the Bank cards are going to be, though, the next ones. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the brand new cards. Out of all of them, by far, for me, the best looking ones, Eddie Guerrero and AJ Styles. But I haven't seen, of course, the rest of the Fusion cards. I've seen Aleister Black, but that's like the only other one that they've showed, and between him and AJ, I prefer the AJ card. Anyways, let me know in the comments section what you guys think of these announcements. The throwback cards, the achievement rewards, and the fusion cards. So, on my end of things, what's been going on the past couple of days, well, I ended up missing or not getting the Samoa Joe Road to Glory card. I do have one of them from Ring Domination, but I ended up playing a bit too much ARMS, and so I wasn't paying too much attention to Road to Glory, and at this point, because I've kind of achieved my goal of filling up a Road to Glory deck with all WrestleMania 33 pros, getting the event card here wasn't as much of a priority as it was in the past when I really needed the card. I do plan on getting Seth Rollins, though, from Ring Domination and also from Road to Glory the week afterwards. And I'm thinking, after that Road to Glory, we might just get an announcement for a new tier, at least that's what I'm hoping. We got all the Ascensions of a new tier. The Ascensions? I mean, the Essentials. I don't know, I got confused there for a second. The Essentials of a new tier with, you know, them giving out the best cards. I keep repeating this, that's why I'm going through this quick. The female event, all of that, and now we're getting the WrestleMania 33 Fusions. And since Season 2, the Fusion Chamber, for the most part, has been one step behind the top tier in the game. So, for instance, for the majority of the WrestleMania 33 tier, the Fusion Chamber only went up to the Ultimate tier until, of course, today when we're getting the addition of the WrestleMania 33 tier within the Fusion Chamber. So, with the Fusion Chamber now matched up with the top tier in the game, I think it's really only a matter of time. I think we're going to get a new tier soon, so that way it goes back to normal where the Fusion Chamber is once again one step behind. And since the new reward system has been announced, or the achievement system, I've got some pros saved up that I haven't pro'd yet, just so I can wait until the new update drops and I'm in the Team Battleground so I can pro them and get some extra draft picks or some free draft picks in the process. I want to see how many draft picks you get, and also I want some draft picks so I can get my charges quicker. Also, something that I didn't bring up earlier regarding the update just because I didn't think it was a big part of the news, but I want to mention it here briefly just to talk about it just a little bit and give you guys my thoughts on it. And you can let me know if you feel the same way or not, or if you've been experiencing the same thing. So, with this new update comes some new attitudes. But the thing with attitudes is, they're supposed to be used when you're facing off against a player live. And what are the modes where you're facing off against players live? Royal Rumble and the rank mode. You would use these attitudes to taunt another player, to taunt your opponent. But the problem is, at least in my experience, 99% of the matches that I played in both modes, Ranked and Rumble, have been against bots. So not humans, not, you know, an actual player that's playing on the other side, it's a bot. So in that case, what's the point of using the attitudes? The only time I've used attitudes is when I accidentally clicked on them or accidentally touched them when I'm playing the game and I'm trying to skip through the animation so the match goes by quicker. Because the whole point of using an attitude is to taunt your opponent, to taunt another player, but yet most of the matches that I play are against bots and not an actual player in real time. So that's like the equivalent of taunting an object. It's like telling your Xbox to suck it because you're playing the Nintendo 64 that day. It's basically what I'm trying to say is if most of the matches are against bots, it kind of defeats the purpose of the attitudes. But anyways, attitude aside, I'm waiting for the new update right now. Maintenance is still going on, so as soon as maintenance stops and the update is on, we'll resume this video with my first WrestleMania 33 Fusion Chamber. Alright guys, so the update is out, and they posted up the patch notes detailing everything that they've added or improvements that they've made. Some interesting things that I've seen here is, first off, they've added a new type of contract in Money in the Bank. So now, this actually wasn't announced when they made the announcement, but now there are white Money in the Bank contracts. So I guess they did that because of the women's Money in the Bank, where we saw for the first time ever a white Money in the Bank briefcase. This white case will give you 5 contracts instead of 4. So a very slight increase, but still an increase nonetheless. We didn't expect that, so that's cool. I'll definitely be trying that out. Actually, I'll try this out on video in just a few moments to see if the white contracts are any harder than the gold contracts used to be. And also, something else here is Team Battleground. New deck types will be added to the rotation in Team Battleground. This is interesting, because I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. Are we, let's say, we're in the WrestleMania 33 team and we're competing for WrestleMania 33 rewards, does that mean that maybe we compete with lesser tier cards, like maybe SummerSlam cards or something like that? Or does that mean that we're just gonna get different, I don't know, higher tier cards? I'm not really sure what they mean by this, so I'm interested in finding out the next time I start a Team Battleground. Also, there was something else in there that I found interesting, I think, but oh yeah, it was them saying that they've improved chat loading, and for any of you guys who've used the chat in the game, it's incredibly slow, or used to be incredibly slow. I haven't tried it out yet since the new update. We're gonna try it out right now, and also we're gonna try out the Money in the Bank and see, you know, if the white contracts are any harder than the gold contracts used to be. Okay, so first off, let's start off with the Fusion Chamber so we can get started on the WrestleMania 33 Fusion as soon as possible. I had a legendary Fusion card left over, so I used that prior to the update so it can automatically finish as soon as the update comes in. So let's go ahead and skip over to the WrestleMania 33 Fusion cards, and let's see what cards we can get here first. Alright, so they've got Bobby Roode, they've got Braun, oh interesting, Braun Strowman is in there. I want to see the picture for his card. We've also got, yes, AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, and Aleister Black, as well as, oh, Nia Jax, okay. So there's a female WrestleMania 33 Fusion. I actually hope that I get Nia Jax if she's the only female in this tier, in the Fusion Chamber. And, oh, Carmella, okay. Is Nia Jax better than Carmella? Because usually in the Fusion Chamber, what they do is they put the strongest cards first, or at least they used to do that. Let's see here. She, of course, beats her in power, beats her in toughness, and Carmella beats her in speed and charisma. I'm not going to go ahead and add up the stats right now. Probably won't do that later either. I'll probably just wait until they update the Supercard spreadsheet with the stats of the Fusion cards and the totals there. So, let's go ahead and put in our Ultimate. By the way, I had a bunch of Ultimate Fusion Pros, or Ultimate Fusion duplicates, but I didn't go ahead and pro them because why? It's, you know, I wanted to wait until the WrestleMania 33 fusions came out, so that way I had more fusion cards to use. So we're gonna go with Fandango, and we're gonna go ahead and put in some cards here. Let's see. I'm gonna go with the Elite cards first. So I always go to my weakest cards. We're gonna put Ember Moon in here, and we're gonna put Jimmy Uso, as well as... I don't feel like putting the Kane card in there, because I like Kane. But the thing is, it's not like I'm gonna use the Kane card anyway. Whatever, I'm just gonna put the Kane card in there. Let's see, we're gonna put Naomi, and we still need some points. And I need to get rid of some cards. I know somebody might say, hey, why don't you just use an ultimate card that's worth more points? The thing is, I've got so many cards, I've got to get myself to get rid of a bunch of cards, and I have a problem with keeping too many cards. So the Fusion Chamber is one of the ways that I get rid of cards, and so with me getting rid of cards that are a bit lower tier, it allows me to get rid of more cards, rather than less cards of higher tier. So let's see if I've got... No, I don't have any Harding cards. I do have SummerSlam cards. So let's put... Actually, hold on a second. Do I have some WrestleMania cards? If I do, I'll put some WrestleMania cards instead. Let's go to WrestleMania. And I got Trish. Alright. That's good enough. Let's go ahead. And how long is it going to take? 6 days. So yeah, it is a long wait, 6 days. But hey, it's a free WrestleMania 33 card, and actually a free WrestleMania 33 card that's stronger than your typical WrestleMania 33 card, although not as strong, of course, as the event cards. So we're gonna let that go on, and while we wait, I'm gonna go ahead and see what's going on here. Can I get my ladder rewards right now? So we're gonna click on this, and oh, achievement. So there we go. So let's go ahead and claim this. Ladder reward, let's open this up. Oh, Adam Rose. Alright, so it's rare cards and lower tier cards right here. I'm not gonna go ahead and open this up right now. Actually, you know what? We'll just open it up. I'm just gonna use these cards to level up some stronger cards. And let's open this one up. Ultimate Warrior. Okay. And it looks like we've got our answer right here as to how many draft picks we get for training a superstar and proing a card. So, for training a superstar, you get 5 draft picks. So I'm assuming it's once you completely train a superstar and get 40 matches for every single stat. And for proing a card, you get 15 draft picks. That's actually a lot more than I expected. And then we've got the Seth Rollins Ring Domination, but obviously we can't see the card. One thing that I do notice is the color of the WrestleMania 33 bar has changed. I do prefer the prior color though. Now let's go ahead and test out the chat. So let's go to chat right here. And we're going to go to global chat because that is the slowest chat in the game. Now it is loading. It didn't used to load like this, or there wasn't an icon in the past. It would just be a blank screen and you'd wait until the chat pops up. It seems like it's taking more time actually. They said they improved it, but it is taking more time right now. It's still loading, and it's loading slower than usual actually. Let's test out the looking for team chat instead. Alright, so it looks like we're not gonna be able to test this out today. I hope this isn't the brand new improved chat. Maybe it's like this just because the update just came out right now. Maybe there's a ton of users trying out the chat right now, but for some reason it's just loading constantly, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get anywhere if I just wait this out. So let's see who's got a white briefcase. Alright, so Cedric Alexander. So yeah, it definitely seems like for, you know, those of us in the higher tiers, they've replaced the gold briefcase difficulty with the white briefcases. So let's go ahead and toughness and charisma. We're going to go with Cedric Alexander versus Cedric Alexander. Actually, I should have went, I think I saw James Ellsworth in there, so maybe should have went for that. No, actually, we're fine with this. Okay, moving on, power and speed, Sami Zayn or Dean Ambrose for the white briefcase. We'll go with, let's see here. Is The Miz? No, we're not going to go with The Miz. I should just, I was going to say I should just go with Sami Zayn against Sami Zayn, but that's actually not, well, actually it's going to work with this boost right here. So we're going to go Sami Zayn versus Sami Zayn. Keep it simple. And despite his boost right there, we still get this one. So 5 points for the first 2 matches. For this one, we're just going to go at it. Both cards, James Ellsworth and The Miz, if we need to, doesn't matter. We're going to win this at the end of the day, so let's go ahead and use James Ellsworth. We win this one, and of course, we're going to win the last match with an event Jeff Hardy card. There we go. Let's go for that final 5 points. AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy. Yo, that could actually be a good match in the WWE. I want to see that. AJ Styles versus Jeff. Of course, now at the moment, they're both on their separate rosters, SmackDown and Raw, but I want to see that eventually. We might have seen it in TNA, but I forgot if the match was good or not. Alright, so that gives us 50 points in total. That's pretty cool. Extra points from Money in the Bank. I'm all for it, of course, who wouldn't be? So that's pretty much it as far as things I wanted to test out with this new update. Of course, in the store, you do have the brand new Hall of Fame throwback pack, and you've got Mr. Perfect in there, Alundra Blaze, and Macho Man Randy Savage. 4,300 credits will get you a Hall of Fame card, a support card, and an enhancement card. Just keep in mind that the Hall of Fame card does go from Harden to WrestleMania 33, so keep that in mind. You might get a Harden Hall of Fame card, or you might get an Ultimate one. I mean, a WrestleMania 33 one, or an Ultimate one too. Now, before I close this video out, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to every single person on the screen right now who retweeted my arms tweet that I asked you guys to retweet. James, Omer, Frilly, It's Def, Gyro, JJ, Sean, Andrew, Dale, Mark, Quincy, Zach, Colby, Caroline, Joe, Jamie, Joey, Jake, Youngblood, Cameron, Nero, Tyler, King Rusev, Farty Smell, Jahori. Thank you to all of you guys, and thank you to everybody who liked the tweet. I was really appreciated. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button down below, and with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.